Hi folks, it's Sarah here. I thought I'd come here today and tell you a little story about something that happened a couple of weeks ago that I thought was kind of fun and has changed a little bit of the way that I annotate in my books. I was reading in bed. I was reading Hot Milk by Deborah Levy, and my 6-year-old was supposed to be in bed, but he was popping in and out of my bedroom as he usually does every night. And he knows the way straight to my heart and how to wrap me around his little finger. And so he came in with a stack of books and he said, "Can I stay up a little later so that I can read some books in bed with you?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, of course, obviously you can do that." So he climbed into bed and he started flipping through his little books, and he looked over and he noticed that I was using a pencil to annotate and underline in the book I was reading. And he said, "Mom, can I draw in my books too?" And I thought about it for a moment. I thought about it for another moment. I decided that I could live with my husband being not too pleased, because he and I have completely different views on whether it's okay to write in books. And I said, "Yes, you can draw in your book." And so he said, "Yes, okay." So he ran off and he got himself a pencil and he came back. And at the time he was really into this really cool book about pirates. It's one of those books where you search for little different pictures throughout the pages. It tells you what to search for. And he started drawing more boats and little things on the pages. And so that was sweet. And then he went to bed, and the next night he came back, and this time he came with one of his little chapter books. His favorite series is How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cowell. And he opened up the book and he started drawing himself into some of the little, there's already little sketches and fun drawings throughout the whole book, but he loves the characters. He considers them some of his best friends, and so he started drawing himself in little scenes throughout the book, and I thought that was the cutest thing ever. So I was sitting there, I was still reading Hot Milk, and I thought that looks kind of fun. So if you've ever read Hot Milk, you know how vivid it is and full of imagery and lots of repeated images. And one of the big themes, or one of the big images that comes back, is jellyfish out in the ocean. It takes place in southern Spain. So I started drawing jellyfish and in the margins of the book, and my son was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm drawing jellyfish." And he said, "Can I draw jellyfish too?" And so I let him draw some jellyfish in the book. It was really fun. And, it was a book, Hot Milk. I was loving it so much. I knew it was a book that I was going to keep forever. And so I was like, you know what? If it's my book and I'm going to have it forever, I can draw in it. Why not? It's my book. After I finished the book, I kind of noticed that the images and the scenes lived a lot longer in my head than in most books I read. And I didn't know if that was just a sign that it was such a well-written and beautifully written book, or if doing those drawings kind of helped me engage and help my brain engage in a different way and make more connections with the book than it usually does when I don't draw pictures of jellyfish in the books I'm reading. So I thought, this is interesting, and it made me start to think, well, maybe I should be drawing maybe I should be drawing in more of my books. But then I was reading Costa Alegre, and there's already a ton of sketches in the book because it's a teenage girl's diary, and she makes sketches in her diary. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna add a few of my own. And so I did, just here and there, just for fun. Please forgive the sketches themselves. Keep in mind, this is a concept I'm exploring and definitely not a skill that I currently possess. Now I'm reading The Adventures of China Iron, and I started making little sketches in that book too. And why not? The more and more I thought about it, I thought, it is another way for your brain to engage with the language and help it live a little bit differently among the pages of the book. And so I think about that with my son too, he doesn't draw in every book, but when he does, he's engaging with the language in a different way and in a stronger way maybe. And so, I think I'm going to let him continue if he does want to draw in his own books. Now, I did backtrack a little bit with him. I made it very clear in the days that followed that he could only draw in his books if he asked us first. He should probably use a pencil, and that he was never, never, ever allowed to draw in a library book or a school book or any book that wasn't his own book. So we did make that very clear to him. So hopefully we'll see. But how different is it than annotating or the marginalia that we see in medieval texts? It's no different. It's just a different way of having fun with a great story. So I think I'm going to keep doing it. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. Other questions I'm asking myself. If this was a really special edition of a book, would I be doing the same thing? I guess I'm saying the book has to be special enough to me, but not too special. And maybe with practice, I'll get confident enough to really go to town. But for now, it's going to look a little goofy. So tell me what you think. Is it absurd to draw sketches in your books, especially when you are so obviously not an artist? I think for now I'm just going to keep it pretty lighthearted and keep in mind that sometimes maybe 6-year-olds really do have some of the best ideas. In the meantime, it's a beautiful day outside. Suddenly it was really rainy today, but the sun is coming out, which is nice. And so I might make myself a snack and go sit on the porch and read a book. And I hope you do something similarly fun. And at the very least, have a great day. See you later.